He got problems, she got problems, only I got 411 problems. Say hi, what's up, y'all? Welcome and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to another story time, and welcome to They Stole My Baby. Okay, so at this point in time, um, Tyler may have been 6 months. If he was 6 months, he may have been 6 months. Um, and I'm struggling. Remember, I told y'all I think it was In Love with the Same Man. Um, in one of the segments, one of the videos that I told y'all, like I was struggling. And especially after they had cut Ty's check, and then it was like, we overpaid you $4,000. Run me my coins. And so it was like sis was struggling. So it was literally like without Ty's check, because Ty's check was covering the rent. Um, and I was paying like the utilities, and then when my car started acting up, I went and wanted another car. So I have a car payment, I have lights, I have water, I have car insurance. What else was it? And then it was something else. Phone bill, and then did I have a cell phone? I don't even think I had a cell phone at this time. I think it was just cell phone and then cable, right? And so at this point, I'm like, I'm trying to keep all my bills coming up because now I'm kicking out more money instead of just regular schmegular utilities. I'm kicking out more money now. And then with Ty's shit going, like I'm definitely kicking out more money. So I'm trying to figure out and trying to budget because Ty's check was literally like $900 a month. And so now that that's gone, it's like I got to pull $900 out of the blue. Like literally, it was like it wasn't we gonna give you 2 to 3 months. No, it was like in the middle of the month I get the letter, and next month you're not getting a check. And we overpaid you, so you need to be running us $5,000. Run me my coins, type deal, right? Type ish. So it was like trying to figure things out and trying to stay afloat, like, and trying to budget it. And this is in the middle, like, because it's like there's no income tax, baby. The income tax is gone. Income tax is gone. Like I always say, if I knew then what I know now, and literally my mom was trying to tell me, but we don't listen. We don't listen to our parents. When we're young, we think we know everything, and we don't. We don't. We don't. We don't listen. We think they don't know what they're talking about. And the whole time, the whole time they be spot on. And you be looking back and you be like, what was I thinking? Like young, dumb, and broke. Just oblivious to the things that our parents was trying to tell us. So literally, like I'm looking back and I am drowning, like drowning. And so at this point in time, like I didn't pay attention to how soon or when stuff would get cut off. Like I'm trying to coast. Y'all know how we do. Those who get it, get it. We try to coast, especially when things is tight. It's like, okay, I got a certain amount of time, or that I know my car. I know how long it's gonna take me. I can ride on E 15 more miles. You know what I'm saying? So literally, it at this point in time, like I'm not guesstimating. I don't know. And Georgia Power comes in, turn off the lights. My lights are off. My lights are off. And at this point in time, like I'm not asking one of the leaders nothing because I had already asked you, and you had already left me hanging. Like you had already left me hanging. You had already left me hanging. You already made a fool. You already made a fool out of me. My dang on phone was already off. You already made a fool out of me. So I'm not asking nobody nothing. Nothing. Like it's like I'm just gonna try to figure this out because I'm an adult. Like I gotta put on my big girl panties, pull them on up, and figure this thing on out. And I don't know how, but I am. I am. I Nobody knows nothing. Nothing. And at this point in time, like I had cordless phones because I had a landline. I had cordless phones, but I had also had one phone in my room that was like right there on my nightstand, and that wasn't like a cordless phone because you know your cordless phone run off electricity. That phone, I'm not even thinking because you know what I'm saying, like you kind of take certain things for granted when you know what I'm saying, when things are working. Like you don't realize it until it's gone. You don't miss it until it's gone. Like let's say the city is working on your water and you don't realize how much little things you use water for until there's no water. So when it came down to my lights being off, it was like, and my landline rung, but it rung only in my room. I'm sitting there going, my cordless phone don't work because it needs electricity. So I have to run in my room to go look to see who's calling me. Who's calling me? So I go to answer the phone, and it's regular schmuggle phone calls, and I'm not saying nothing. I'm not telling nobody nothing. Like I'm playing it off like everything good because at this point in time I'm sitting in the dark. But I've always been a girl who always loved candles, so I got candles. So when it get dark, candles. Luckily, and then it was like, and me not thinking, oh, my hot water heater runs off electricity. So I was like, oh, didn't think about it till later. But I can't heat up water either because everything in my apartment is totally electric. So I'm going, like, literally figuring out how I maneuver, how I'm gonna maneuver, how I'm gonna maneuver. So I had literally did that like a day, literally, because when the sun come up, it's beautiful in my apartment. When the sun go down, it's candlelit. So, and I'm a candle girl again. So most of the time at night, like my lights off anyway, and the only light that's on is the TV. Well, I got DVDs, and at this point in time is VHS. So I got both DVDs and VHS because this when DVDs was literally just starting to come out, and DVD was the hot thing. So I got DVDs and VHS. So the TV can still be on, but no, because I don't have no lights. So at this point in time, like I'm thinking like, oh, I can't watch TV. I can't do none of this stuff. Like all of this stuff is electricity. I can't watch TV, can't do none of this. It's like, okay, so yeah. I'm just sitting in the dark, sitting in the dark. Me and my baby playing with my baby, sitting in the dark. So one night goes by and it was like, okay, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm counting down and looking at the calendar and counting like how many days I get till it's time for me to get paid. And it's coming up, it's not pay week. So that means I'm looking at like 2 weeks of sitting in the dark. But I'm playing that ish off. I don't know the mentality that I had back then. I'm playing that ish off. Nobody don't have a clue. Nobody don't have a clue what's going on. Because let's just say like the lights went off Thursday night. So I'm playing this ish off. So at this point now it's time for me to go to church. And so I'm thinking, because I am in a religious psychosis, I'm thinking, because as I showed y'all, it was church, 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 right? I'm thinking when I walk up in this church, when I walk up in this building, God is gonna make it work. It's gonna work out, and somebody gonna walk up to me and just gonna hand me some money. Now, don't get me wrong, because that has happened before. It has happened where I have a need, don't say anything, pray about it, and when I walk up in a church and walk up in a building, somebody just hand me some money and be like, God told me to, and it would be just enough to cover the need. Real talk. So hold on. So it's not that I'm oblivious to it, or when it comes down to, when people say I don't have enough, but God has made more than enough. I have experienced that. So I'm not knocking it. But what I'm saying is, at this point in time, I didn't say nothing about my lights being off. And I'm walking up in this building and it's like, because God, you know what I need. You know I need my lights on. I'm just gonna walk and see this building. So I want my lights. You know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna walk up to me and hand me something. Give me the ends and put the cash in my hand so I can go pay this light bill and I can turn my lights back on. That didn't happen. That didn't happen this time. But I played it off. Like I still didn't tell nobody what's going on. So at this point in time, you know, um, we after like the first service, we usually would go like to breakfast or whatever in between service because we didn't do Sunday school. They were still having Sunday school, but we didn't do Sunday school. So we would go to breakfast when it was time for Sunday school because we wasn't doing the Sunday school thing. I know at one point he was a little upset. One of the leaders was a little upset about people not attending Sunday school. So at one point, because he was like, it looks very crazy that a lot of the people who serve like in the choir and on the ministry of music, that y'all don't stay for Sunday school. You don't be in Sunday school, you be in your office eating and laughing and talking and chitter chattering and stuff. Why we can't go to breakfast? Why we gotta stay for Sunday school? Because the attendance low. Don't nobody want to be here for Sunday school anyway. So during during Sunday school, we would usually go to breakfast. Everybody would usually go to breakfast, and that was the excuse we definitely threw out. So you tried to make it a whole big deal, and we might have stayed 1 or 2 Sundays, but after that, please, baby, you can't tell people what to do. When God is saying it's free will, who are you to tell people to walk up in here and tell them what they can and cannot do? And that's the issue a lot of people have when it come down to church because y'all get power and go crazy. Anyway, so now nobody put no money in my hand. It's the end of church service saying, oh, okay, yeah, it's time to go. So at this point in time, Keisha's like, girl, I'm gonna come to your house. And I was like, oh, okay. And so you don't want me to come to your house? I was like, no, it's cool. You come to my house because it was something normal that she normally do. She would usually come to my house, especially if we had like another service to come back to back at 6 o'clock, or if we was traveling to somebody else, or if she just wanted to hang out. And she'd be like, what you cook? And she'll come and hang out with me. So she was like, I'm coming to your house. So after service, Keish comes to my house. And so when we walking up, and I turned around before I opened the door. I said, before you walk in here, I need to let you know something. And so she was like, because Keisha had always been to my house. And so she looking at me kind of crazy. She like, girl, what's up? And I was like, my lights are off. And I was like, yeah, my lights are off. And so she was like, it's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But why you ain't saying nothing? She was like, why you ain't saying nothing, girl? Because if you would have said something, I could have asked my grandma. Because at this point in time, Keisha's grandma was very selective about who she liked. Real talk. She was very selective about who she liked. And she didn't mind me being around Keish. And I absolutely appreciate that because Keisha's grandma was, those people who can read spirits and who can tell who, what, when, how, where, how, but they don't put their gifts out on blast. That was Keisha's grandma. And so when she gave you like the stamp of approval, that meant a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I got the stamp of approval. She told Keisha, she's like, yeah, she a good friend or whatever. So yeah, so she was like, why didn't you say nothing? Girl, because I could have asked my grandma because her grandma also, a lot of people it wasn't really about me, it was about Tyler. It was about Tyler. Everybody loved Tyler, which people love babies, but everybody loved Tyler. Everybody loved Tyler. And then the simple fact that Tyler was sickly, and so they even pushed it up more. But she loved Tyler too. And so she was like, girl, I could have asked my grandma, you know what I'm saying? And that could have been handled. You ain't have to worry about it. I could have asked my grandma because all I had to say was grandma the baby. Like we nothing. And I was like, I know. And I was like, but I don't ever want to feel like I'm a burden to people. I don't ever feel like I'm constantly asking people for something. And at this point in time, like it's always I'm always the friend. I'm always the, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm always the friend that's going through something. And I don't want to feel like that right now. So like it's chill, it's chill. So Kish was like, well, what about the baby milk? Like what about your food? And I was like, real talk, the refrigerator is still cold. And I know y'all looking at me like, and I promise you, the refrigerator was still cold. The freezer was still cold. There was nothing wrong with his milk. Like it literally flowed. I promise you, it literally flowed. And so Kish was like, And I was like, come see for yourself. So we walked in, of course, it's pitch black. Not It's pitch black because my blinds are closed. So when I open the blinds, like it gave because the sun starts coming in, and of course it lights up like right now, natural lighting, because that's literally from the window. I don't have no lights, no extra lights or nothing on. So the natural lighting was beautiful because here come the sun coming in just right. And so like I'm opening that up. And so she was like, what you do at night? Candles. And so she was like, okay, okay. And so she was like, and I was like, walk around. So literally, like, I'm changing the diaper, getting him comfortable or whatever, and like opening up the blinds, and it's beautiful lighting. And so she was like, okay. And so I was like, go check for yourself. Go check for yourself. So she walked over to the freezer, put her hand in the freezer, and was like, she closed the freezer, put her hand in the refrigerator, and was like, and she was like, this stuff is still cold. It was still like I promise y'all, it was still cold. At this point in time, my lights got turned off. Wednesday is Sunday. It's Sunday. So I'm gonna have Keish because I just text her. I'm gonna put the receipts in. I'm gonna have Keish send her experience. Like I'm. Yeah. Okay, yeah, you're gonna have to edit this because clearly. But yeah, I remember coming to the house and we concerned the lights was off and shoot, the refrigerator was still cold. I mean, straight cold, like it still lights in there, I always did have some kind of um experiences with the supernatural with you, but yeah, the refrigerator was definitely cold. Supernatural, Keish. Supernatural, you know what? At this point, my neighbors have been calling me a white witch, so okay. Like I'm not lying to y'all. I know it sounds crazy, but living it, as I told y'all, as I told y'all in the description of Story Sound playlist, if I didn't live it, I wouldn't believe it. If somebody came up to me and told me this stuff, I'd be like, this hoe is crazy. This hoe is crazy. No, y'all, like, listen, listen. So it was still cold, like me experiencing, because all those thoughts are running through my head, like what I'm gonna do about my baby milk, what I'm gonna do about the food. I can barely afford food. Like literally, it's like all my food is gonna spoil. The stuff was still cold. It had been days. It was still cold. So while I'm experiencing it, like I'm crying and praising and thanking God because it's like nobody's gonna believe me. Nobody's gonna believe me. Literally, Keish came. I didn't invite nobody over because I'm trying to fight through this and go through this by myself. Keish decided to come over as usual, as normal. She decided to come over. And before she walked in, I told her, like, listen, I don't have no lights. And she started asking questions. She went and checked it for herself. And she was like, to the point where it freaked her out. So she was like, Andrew, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and leave because she could not explain it. I couldn't explain it either. But she was like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and leave. I'm going to go ahead and leave. So, and I was like, don't tell nobody nothing. Don't tell nobody what's going on. And so she was like, okay, okay. So I go and I'm trying to figure out the steps of how the domino effect of how this end up happening. I'm trying to figure out the domino effect. I want to say that I'm trying to figure out, did I ask somebody for prayer? I'm trying to figure out the domino effect, y'all. I'm trying to figure it out. Hold on. Okay. So At this point in time, like it's rounding about and spinning a corner to another Wednesday. And at this point in time, like I'm thinking like, okay, maybe this Wednesday, cause Sunday, I ain't getting no money. Maybe Wednesday, God gonna send somebody and give me the ends to put the cash in my hand type this situation, right? So maybe Wednesday. And that didn't happen. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. And so I was like, well, okay, like I'm gonna keep on pushing through. And at this point in time, it's been a week. Refrigerator's still cold. Refrigerator's still cold. And so, and I know y'all looking like, girl, get the. I promise you, everything in my refrigerator was still cold. Was still cold. Keish asked, everything's still cold. Everything's still cold. And so, like, I was like, I'm good. Cause at this point in time, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got water. You know what I'm saying? So I can still make Thai milk and stuff like that. Like, I ain't gotta worry about nothing. Like, I literally don't have to worry about nothing. Like, my food is straight. Whatever's in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good. Like I'm eating sandwiches and stuff like that. Like food still cold, so I'm able to do cereal. Like I'm able to get by because there's no big time like grocery in there anyway because I'm already struggling. So cereal, sandwiches type deal situation. I always make sure like Thai food be straight, but Thai food is like baby food in the jar type situation because he's 6 months, he's 6, 7 months. It's in a jar, so it's perishable. I don't have to keep that cold. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like the water works. I don't have to heat up the water for his milk. So, but the only thing that's in there is like literally my food. You know what I'm saying? Like the stuff that I would use to cook for me, basically. But the refrigerator is still cold. Like everything is still cold. So, y'all, Wednesday, nothing happened. So at this point in time, I was like, well, maybe I need a little backup. And I don't remember what I named the lady, but she is in the series in love with the same man. She was the one who, no, she's in, hold on. She's in Church Ladies. She is, what did I name that? Because Church Ladies is small instances. So what did I name that instance, child? Um, Gifted something. Gift training, something like that. I think it's like the very last one. It's like the fourth or fifth one in that situation. So anyway, I went to talk to her because at this point in time, like I ain't know, lady didn't like me. She's also in the very first one. She's in the first one. Damn, what was the first one called? Christian's New Clothes. She's in that one too. Her. At this point in time, I ain't know that lady didn't like me. So I'm going to her thinking like she's the Christian open heart. You know how they do. I'm coming to you with the love of God. Yeah, and the whole time they evil as so at this point in time, I know this lady didn't like me, but at this point, like I'm going to her and I'm going to her for advice. And so I'm saying, listen, um, some situations is going on at this point in time. And but what's happening is God is still making stuff go. And I was like, how can I um ask God for something specific? Because I need for God to make something happen. Like I'm looking at him and I know I'm looking at certain things and I know he's doing it, but I need to make something happen. And so she was like, well, I need you to be more specific. Now, most of the time when people was doing that, I ain't know then, I know now. When they doing that, they just trying to get in your business. Because if you really with a pure heart and you really praying for me, you don't even need to know all of that. If I come to you and I'm asking you for prayer, I pray. God, whatever it is. Not I need for you to be specific. You just trying to get in my business. I ain't know that then. I know that now, which is why it's like, baby, I pray for myself. I pray for myself. I pray for myself. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I'm telling you, I was like, well, my lights are off and my lights being off, you know what I'm saying? Like, I thought usually God comes through with this need, and now that didn't happen. So I'm trying to figure out, like, what do I do? How do I go about it? Because at this point in time, it's Wednesday. It's been a week. Thursday, Friday. 2 more days for payday. 2 more days for payday. And at this point in time, it's like, girl, you done made it this far. You done made it a whole week. Why didn't you just keep your mouth closed? But I'm thinking and looking like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen like here on Wednesday, when in reality, like, girl, you could have kept your mouth closed and you could have handled it on Friday. Like, you've been doing it on Friday, like you've been doing your big one. Anyway, so Wednesday, after that, lo and behold, church lady, you went and go told one of the leaders. Cause at this point in time, I didn't know you knew. You know what I'm saying? You went and told one of the leaders. One of the leaders when it got gifted and was like, why you ain't tell me her lights was off? Well, at this point in time, Gifted didn't know, because Gifted is at her mama house. She had no clue. Well, she back and forth between her mama house and Evie house, introducing Evie and Evie house. So she at her mama house and Evie house. She kind of back and forth. And so Gifted had no clue. So Gifted was like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I haven't been over there. It's not that we beefing. I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I let people do them. And then with her, you know what I'm saying? I think she was kind of, she'll be at her mama house for a little bit. And then she'll be at my house for a little bit. And then she'll give me a break. And then she'll go hang out at Evie house. But at this point in time, like, her and Evie kind of really kicking it cool. Because her and Evie are related. Like, that's her cousin. So she really been kicking it and cool with Evie. You know, I'm cool with that. Like, hey, as long as you're safe, I ain't got no problem. And so at this point, like, she had Evie house. So who am I to trip or whatever? And that's what she told me. She was like, well, I've been at Evie house, so I don't know what's going on. Like, I haven't even been over there. Like, I don't know what's going on. So she calls me after one of the leaders talked to you, and instead of you being like, go take this money to her so she get the lights on, you just sent her over there to come get the baby. Well, I can't go over there and pull up to go get the baby. You go get the baby. Go get the baby. You ain't sent no money. You told her to come get Ty. You told her to come get my baby. Mind you, I had been in service and you ain't have a clue on Sunday. I had been in service, you ain't had a clue on Wednesday. In the days in between, you ain't have a clue. My baby looked fine. My baby was fine. You ain't have a clue. Even when I'm dropping him off at daycare, they didn't have a clue that something was wrong, that something was going on. Nobody had a clue. The only reason Keish knew, because Keish came to my joint. Like, I told old girl, but old girl went and told him. Like, none of y'all had a clue. As I stated, I should have just kept my mouth closed and waited to payday, because baby, I had done made it through the worst part. I had a day. I had one more day to make it. So Gifted called me and I'm on the phone. So she was like, what you doing? And I was like, laying down, which that's what I was doing. Like, once it got dark, like, ain't too much for me to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ty was asleep. Ty was still on his same schedule. And Ty was in the room with me, because I didn't move Ty into his own room until he was one. So he was in the room with me in his crib. What Tyler doing? Ty sleep. Ty was asleep. You know what I'm saying? Ty sleep. I'm laying in the bed, chilling, minding my business minding me. What's the problem? Like, what's the problem? What's the problem? I don't get. What's the issue? What's the issue? So I was like, wow, what's up? What's going on? So why you ain't tell me your lights was off? And so now I'm quiet, because it's like, who told you my lights was off? And I was like, how you know my lights was off? So my first inkling was Keish, but I was like, Keish wouldn't do that to me. Keish wouldn't betray my trust. So how you know? So I was like, who told you that? One of the leaders calling me and going off and saying, why would I let you be, why would I be over there and let the lights go off? Or why I ain't tell him the lights was off? I said, well, first of all, why would that be something that you would have to take care of because this ain't your apartment. You know what I'm saying? Like this ain't her apartment. And it wasn't like she was there all the time on a consistent basis to mess with the lights. The issue was the $900 that was taken away out of my budget, and it's me now trying to figure out stuff. Me trying to maneuver and trying to maneuver my budget, which in reality, I don't make enough money to cover my bills. You know what I'm saying? Like most people now at this present time. So anyway, and I was like, but he telling you my lights off. Did he send some money? Did he send some money? No, no. He told me to come get Tyler. What? Girl, bye. And I hung up. Like for real, real talk. Cause it's like the audacity, the audacity of you and anybody. Because church lady, you had no business going to tell him my business anyway. Because what we was talking about is supposed to be confidential. It wasn't that I was putting me or my son in danger, or I was telling you I was coming to tell you that I didn't want to be alive or whatever. That I can understand that you saying something because y'all would be responsible. Like stuff like that, y'all are obligated to report. But I came to you asking you questions when it came down to asking God of how to maneuver, not for you to go run my business, which is why I said when people like, you got to be more specific, they want to know your business. They want to know your business. People be using Christianity, God, Jehovah, Allah. They use everybody in pertain power. You have good people out there and then you got them nasty people. Just got to know what you know. You got to have your own discernment. Anyway, so yeah, so I was like, girl, hung up. Anyway, so a few moments later, girl, there's a knock on my door. Girl, you put up some house for real? Okay. So I open the door. And so when you walk in, like as usual, anywhere that I am, my place gonna smell good and then there's a piece. Cause I'm as I told you, like I'm a candle girl. So when you walk in, like it's candles in like the living room or whatever. Cause I need to see. So I don't lit the candles, so I need to see for you to come in. And there's candles in my room, cause that's where me and Ty are. There's candles in here, right? So when you walk in, um, you walk in first, and then Evie is walking behind you like this bodyguard, like she got a. This don't make no sense. This don't make no sense. Gifted. This don't make no sense. Why didn't you say something? Why didn't you say something? You are putting you and Tyler in danger. What danger are we in? What danger are we in? Because that baby milk, Ty's milk is made with water. There's plenty of formula. The formula is in the cabinet. His food, his food is in the cabinet. Doesn't require refrigeration. I was like, but the refrigerator and the freezer are still cold. Girl, what you talking about? What you talking about? The refrigerator and the freezer is still cold. Girl, your lights are off. Your lights are off, Angel. Go see for yourself. So they go to the refrigerator and freezer, put their hand in it. It's still cold. It's been over a week. It's still cold. Now y'all standing there looking like a deer in headlights. Cause you can't explain it. I can't either. But it's still cold. So so I'm sitting here literally standing here like, okay, next, like, what's your point? Because people, again, if you don't know the daily dealings of what me and Ty got going on, you have no clue. You sitting here thinking like, oh, his stuff is in the refrigerator, and his stuff is not in the refrigerator. His milk is not in the refrigerator. My water is still on. The water is cold. I've always used tap water to make his milk. Like, so the water is cold. The water is cold, man. Like, yeah, Ty is clean. I wipe clean and Ty off with his baby wipes. When we, I can put his clothes, still put his clothes in the washer and dryer because the water is still on. It's just not hot water. Water still working. Still flush the toilet. Like the only thing at night is I'm taking candles everywhere. My baby's 6 or 7 months. He don't know the difference. I'm the only one who know the difference. Cause I can't watch TV or nothing. I'm sitting here. But that's nothing. I'm playing with my baby. I wasn't tripping. After day 3 of the stuff still being cold, the biggest thing was keeping my mind together because I want to watch TV. Real talk. So you come from out of the kitchen because you too stunned to speak. You come from out of the kitchen, you walk into my room, and you go and you peek over the crib. Ty sleep, sleep, knocked out, normal, sleep. What's the issue? What's the issue? Oh, I don't want to scream and yell in here because I don't want to wake the baby. I don't want to wake the baby, so don't scream and yell and don't wake the baby. So I went and got back in my bed and laid down, and y'all standing up, um, gifting is on one side and Evie's on the other. And so y'all standing up because one of the leaders sent us over here to get the baby. Girl, one of the leaders don't run nothing over here. I said, my thing is, he told you to come get the baby, not send you money, not give you money to get over here so I could to send over here so I could turn the lights back on. Make that make sense. I said, and why would he send you to come get the baby? You ain't got no place. You at your mama house. You went from your mama house to here, from here to Evie. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. I'm just saying, he told us to come get the baby. He told us to come get the baby. Y'all, out of the blue, all of a sudden, Evie on the other side takes the cover, rip the cover off of me, and say, "Get up out of this bed. Get up out of this bed. Get the baby back together because we taking this baby." So Gifted was like, "Angel, listen, we just want to take the baby for safety. We just want to take the baby for safety." Safety. I said, what danger is he in? What danger is he in? Y'all, she called one of the leaders. One of the leaders is on speaker and saying, "Give the baby up. Give the baby up, Angel. Give the baby up." At this point in time, like I'm like, what? Because you're like, what if Ty has an asthma attack? What if Ty has an asthma attack? Because at this point in time, like my baby has really bad asthma. He really does. What if he has an asthma attack and you can't put him on his breathing machine? At this point in time, literally, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday night after Bible study. I wish I had kept my mouth closed. And then at this point in time, like real talk, I had one more day. I don't know why. I just didn't tough it out. I had one more day. So now I'm laying there in my pajamas with my covers pulled, thrown back by Evie. And I'm really contemplating because it's like, girl, I can't take both of these hoes. And then you got one of the leaders on the phone yapping, and everybody's just talking. And what if he have an asthma attack? What if he has an asthma attack? Oh, okay. So yeah, pack his bag, pack his bag, pack his bag. I'm not packing a bag. Evie starts going through my stuff, y'all, and start packing Ty's bag. Oh, he going with us. He going with us. Don't take my baby out this though. He going with us. He going with us. He going with us. So she putting diapers in the bag. He went, where his stuff at? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'll stop to the store. I'll give him some formula. I'll give him some formula. So I'm laying in my bed and I'm not even paying Evie no attention. I'm turning and looking at Gifted. I'm turning and looking at Gifted because you my friend. Me and Evie are cool, but you my friend. You stay here. So I'm staring at you. It's just for one night. It's just for one night until you get your stuff together. It's just for one night. One of the leaders say he's gonna turn the lights on tomorrow. It's just for one night. It's just like for me, because I just want to know he's safe. I just want to know he's safe. Ty is in the crib sleeping. I just want to know he's safe. I just want to know he's safe just for one night. Just for one night, okay? Just for one night. You go over to the crib because Evie was like, I got the bag, get the baby. I got the bag, get the baby. You walk over to the crib and you walk over to the crib and you get Ty out the crib. They walk out the door. I walked behind them. Walked. Watch you get in your truck. Because Evie has a truck. Evie has a navigator at this point. Watch you get in your truck. Walk back in my apartment. Got my purse, got my keys, and followed you. Followed you. Followed you on your side of town before you went to your house because I know where you live. So it's either you going to your house or you going to somebody else's house. But 9 times out of 10, you going to your house. So y'all pull up at the store because I'm assuming Gifted was like she following us because y'all ain't got no car seat. Y'all ain't got no car seat. Listening to this dumbass ninja, y'all ain't got no car seat. So I follow them to the store and pull up on the side of them, and I put up on the passenger side. And Gifted, you don't even see me. You don't even see me pull up. You don't even see me. You don't even see me pull up. You don't even see me. You don't even see me. I could have sworn like maybe you or maybe y'all thought like I lost you or whatever. You don't even see me. So I pulled on the side of you and I'm staring at you out of my driver's side while you on the passenger side and Ty is laying on your chest and you staring off into the abyss. You staring off into the abyss, like staring, and you don't even see me, but I'm staring at you. You just happen to turn over and look and did like this. So you down the window, you was like, how long you, it don't matter, give me my baby. Angel, is give me my baby. No, just for our safety, because what if he has an asthma attack? I said, girl, I get paid tomorrow. My lights has been off since last Wednesday. I said, the only reason the only reason he called you is because I told church lady told him. The only reason y'all know anything. Give me my baby. Because at this point, Evie is in the store. Give me my baby. I can't take both of you. I can take one. Give me my baby. I just think, give me my baby. So I get Tyler, put Tyler in the car seat, got his bag, drove back home, put Tyler in the crib. So the next day, one of the leaders calls me at work and was like, oh, why you ain't say nothing about your lights? Why you ain't say nothing about your lights? I could have had the lights back on. I said, didn't we already have this experience when I was depending on you to pay the bills after I had him and you didn't do it? You have to tell me, you have to let me know when certain things is going on. How much is it? How much is it? I don't remember how much the lights was, child. I know it was like 100 and something, and then they add on like a reconnect fee. I don't know. Let me figure something out. Let me figure something out. So anyway, by the time I got home, the lights was on. Crazy thing is, when Georgia Power pulled up to turn my lights back on, the apartment owner, literally the person, he owned the property. He came pulling up in his Jeep. I remember his name, so I'm not gonna say his name. He came up pulling up in his Jeep because you weren't paying your bills how you was supposed to pay your bills. So you thought they was about to turn the lights off in the complex. Cause he was like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And so the man was like, "Turn the lights back on." And he was like, "Oh, oh." I said, "You're not paying your bills either." Anyway, so anyway, lights back on, cool. Next day, like Friday or whatever, Gifted called me, so she was like, "Your lights back on?" Mm-hmm. Oh, is it possible that I can come over there? We need to talk anyway, and then I need to apologize. So when she came over there, she was like, "Girl, I want to apologize." She said, "Cause the story I got was, Tyler had an asthma attack. She ain't tell nobody nothing. What if something happened to him? What if he have an asthma attack? Woot, woot, woot." And so it was that, type of thing. She was like, he was making it seem like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was such a dire emergency. She's like, I didn't know that all this time, like your lights had been off. And so I was like, what? When you put your hand in the refrigerator and it was still cold, why didn't you fall back? Why didn't you fall back? I said, and there you ain't say nothing. When Evie came up here and pulled the cover back, she was like, "Girl, I don't know, I don't know, I didn't expect it to get to that point. I don't know. I didn't expect it to get to that point." She was like, "But I just want to apologize." She was like, "Because we shouldn't have came up in here and taking your baby. We shouldn't have came up in here and was making it seem like we were trying to do something to you." She was like, "But the way that it was put to us, it was like Tyler was in danger or whatever, and you know what I'm saying, like we needed to come get him." And I was like, "You really think that I would put my baby in danger?" I said, "And then look at the source. Really?" I was like, "You gonna believe him over me?" Even after you had sticked your hand in the refrigerator, girl. After you sticked your hand in the refrigerator and saw that the refrigerator was still cold. Why? 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 She was like, "I'm sorry. I apologize." And I was like, "Are you apologizing because you need someplace to hang out, or you really apologize?" She was like, "No, like I'm really apologizing. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry. Like it shouldn't have been that type of party." Hello, editing angel here. I forgot to tell this part, and I don't know how I forgot to tell this part because this was something that me and her talked about on repeat. I remember when she came over to apologize, the main thing that she said, she was like, "You was looking at me, you was staring at me like you wanted to kill me. You was staring at me like you wanted to kill me." Like when I turned around, I was like, "That girl wanna kill me." Yeah, I was pissed off because you was my friend. I don't give a about Evie. I mean, Evie was cool, but you was my friend, girl. You had been in my house. You was helping me with my baby. So you rolled up in here and you let that girl pull them covers back and then going through all my stuff and putting stuff in a bag to take my baby. You was going by one of the leaders to take my baby. Girl, yeah, my face was telling you the truth because if I could get a hold of you, and we both was fighters. All of us was fighters. That's why I was like, I can't take both of these. I can't take both of these hoes. I can take one. We both was fighters. So, girl, you was looking at me like you wanted to kill me. Yeah, girl, yeah, because you had rolled up in my house and took my baby. Even though after, and you being gifted, because I gave you that name for a reason. You being gifted and putting your hand in the refrigerator that was still cold, and my lights have been out for a couple of days. You ain't fall back after that. You listening to girl. Anyway, like I shouldn't have never came over here and stole your baby. Anyway, yeah, that's the story time of they stole my baby, honey. Yeah, cause I couldn't take on both of them. I know I could take one, but I couldn't take on both of them, girl. So I had to wait to that right moment, the right time to get my baby back. Anyway, keep your business to yourself. More of the story. I love you the most, because you're definitely the dopest in real life. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.